I'm a robot, so I asked one of them to present their screen. Okay, in that case, we shall start with the tutorial. Okay, let me go to the Google Classroom. I'll start the recording. Yeah, I've already written your answer. Okay. And then, in fact, the question asks, this is the class activity, the role of system analyst in system design, only during this system design phase of the SDLC. Okay, so perhaps if you all focus your answer on the system design phase, then you are answering the question correctly. Okay, so that's my comment.
The video system. This is the video got talk about his roles, right? Okay.
Okay. Oh, I have one more. Next week, I give you another one next week. Let me see tutorial answers. Should be tutorial 9. Yeah. Right. So the first question, this is the second part of the system development, which is the testing and documentation. Okay, let's see. The first question is by Noel. Compare and contrast. Normally, if you compare and contrast, you must compare in terms of the criteria given. So I can see that, Noel, you have clearly stated, okay, what they are, purposes, and who. My suggestion is that if you see compare and contrast, try to use in a tabular format, okay? So it will be much more easier to see the comparison, right?
Okay.
But then this one is good enough. Unit testing, where we test each module function. Okay, test each module function. Integration testing, where 2 or more programs, as long as they interact with each other or they are dependent, and that will be tested. Okay, for UAT, is it UAT? Yeah, UAT. It is just for the usability of the system, means overall. So from here we can see the difference between these 3 types. This is to test the overall system, whereby these 2, it's not testing the overall system, just some selected module or function. Okay, next is purpose. Okay, functioning well according to the program specification, functioning correctly. All right. And then for integration testing, we want to, because this is integration or link testing, we want to see whether the data pass between the 2 programs can work properly or not, right? Means the output from program 1 will become input for program 2. So we need to see whether program 2 can accept that particular input from program 1 or not. For UAT, the purpose is to see whether it meet the requirements in the system requirement specification. Okay, in the system requirement specification. Who carried out unit testing? Yes, correct. The programmer who developed the module testing, uh, developed the function, sorry. Okay, integration, yes, also by them. And then for UAT, yes, correct. From the name user, you already know that it will be carried out by the user. Okay, so we can still see the how these three types of testing, they are different. Okay, let's proceed to question number 2. Farah, you are employed. Okay, I think let's move this to the next page. Okay, you are employed as a software engineer. Okay, you are a software engineer, and then you are developing the loan processing system. And then the bank in the past, or meaning last time lah, they wanted to implement the new loan processing system, but did not do it. Okay, so they were unable to do it. Okay, previously. And then this time, due to the urgency for the computerization, the chairman wanted to speed up the implementation process of this loan processing, because last time they tried to implement, but they cannot do it, not enough skilled IT personnel. Therefore, you have been hired to make do of the lack of their IT personnel, right? So the chairman expect that with the new software engineer, they have enough skilled IT personnel to implement the loan processing system. Now it's very urgent. Okay, he wants to speed up the implementation process. Do you all know what is implementation process? Implementation process. What did we cover for implementation? When we are done with the system development phase, it means we already have the completed system. Now, next would be we need to do the conversion, correct? Conversion, we need to do the conversion. What else? Oh, and then next week we will cover the training and system changeover. And suggested that you should shorten and simplify the period of testing. So here he is referring to the development phase. The previous one. He wanted to speed up the implementation process. The reason why he suggests this, because he is very confident. He said that testing is not a critical process. Okay, the question say, convince the chairman that testing stage is very important. So how would you justify that the testing stage is important? The requirement is use a diagram to briefly describe the stages, or you need to describe the various stages of the testing process. Oh, there's no explanation, Farah.
Oh,
How would you describe the stage of testing process?
oh, I forgot to add the describe.
But then looking at this diagram, how would you describe the stages of the testing process?
I'm not sure because I'm not sure what the question wants because it says it needs the diagram, right? So,
Yeah.
uh, so I did the stages from um, the requirement specification goes towards the program specification and then the code. So after the
Mm,
coding,
mm-mm,
the the programmer will then do the unit testing,
mm-hmm,
which is the program specification and all
mm-mm,
the system, and then
mm-mm,
it goes for the integration testing, whereas the it um it tests the all the module that like link each other, like module to another
Mhm.
module like that.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
And then it goes for the last yeah, the last system testing, which is the overall the processing system of the loan processing.
Mm.
And and then lastly the user acceptance testing, which is for the user to use the entire system. That's
Mhm.
how I understand lah.
I can see your diagram matches with Noel's answer. Okay, Noel's answer, whereby after we perform coding, okay, this is where we can explain to the chairman. After we perform the coding, there are various steps that we need to do to confirm that the system will work as intended. Okay, after the coding, we will perform the unit testing based on the program specification. So we are using to verify that it works well, each of the individual units. And then for integration testing, we will look at the programs, not programs, yeah lah, either programs or modules, as long as it's two or more, okay, and they depend on each other, okay, they interact with each other. And then the next step should be system testing. System testing is we need to test the program as a whole. So I can see that you are able to find that the name of the system is the loan processing system. Yes, I can see that. Okay, and then finally the UAT, the user will, we need to get the user, means who would be the user for this loan processing system. I believe if this is a bank, then the loan department. Okay, the loan department staff will need to do the UAT and then compare it with the requirement specification that the SA have compiled earlier on. Do you remember which phase produced this output, the SRS, system requirement specification or system requirement document? In which phase? Any one of you remember? This is the output.
Planning.
It should be system analysis, because during system analysis, we perform the fact gathering where we want to find out the user's requirements. So another name for system analysis is requirements modeling. So the output from system analysis is the requirement specification. So at the end of our SDLC, we are in the towards the end of the system development phase. We need to do this, okay, to check back what the user mentioned, their requirements are, see whether fulfills, okay, it has been fulfilled. Okay, so in fact, you have answered the question. You have used a diagram, and then you have the various stages of the testing process. Just missing the explanation.
Okay.
If Noel, if you are the software engineer, what would you say to the chairman?
Uh, Means what?
What would you say to the chairman?
Based on the diagram.
Based on the scenario given here.
The program must be tested before use officially.
Yes, before we let the staff in the loan department using it, and then perhaps we can like lay out the worst case scenario, means let the chairman imagine the impact, okay, the impact of a system failure due to insufficient testing. Okay, imagine the loan department, they're using the loan processing system, but then, alamak, the system did it wrongly. Perhaps the applicants should not be approved, but it goes to the criteria of okay, pass the first criteria, right? So it means it affects the daily operation of the loan operation, the loan department. So another way of convincing our client is that we need to tell them, if we don't do this, then the impact would be this. Then they will, oh, okay, then they will understand how urgent it is. We still need to do it. And then for real life, this always happen. So that's why for normally for a software house company, they allow their programmers, yeah, to stay overnight. Okay, to stay overnight to like complete the task. Okay, if the delivery date is tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., by hook by crook they need to finish it, everything. Okay, I ever visited one of the company, software house company, with the students previously. They have the gym, small gym, the table tennis. At the rooftop, they have the badminton court. Then they have a shower, locker, pantry, right? A place for them to rest. Because pantry, well-stocked pantry lah. Because they do recognize the importance of finishing the job, but at the same time, they want to take care of the employee benefit. I mean the well-being of the employee to deliver the product on time. Okay, if it's very urgent, so in this case, perhaps they can employ what automated testing, or they can hire someone part-time just to perform the testing together with them, or they just pay their programmers OT, means they work like for that particular one whole week, okay, overnight, I don't know how many days, okay, as long as we meet the deadline and at the same time testing is done properly. Because this is a loan processing system. Can you imagine if this is as an information system used by the hospital? The impact will be on what? On human life, correct? So as a software developer, we must convince our client testing stage is very important. You all need to remember that. Okay. So the last question is by Kelvin. Okay, Kelvin. A. What is the purpose and importance of performance testing? Performance testing consists of load, stress, and volume. So the purpose for performance testing, whether it can meet the defined performance objective. Okay, normally this is remember when we learn about when we were still in the system analysis, we learn about the two types of requirements, okay, functional requirements and non-functional requirements. Okay, if you, in terms of the system processing, you want it to be able to process and then give a response within 2 seconds, then we need to validate that the system, yes, the performance is as expected. Okay, and then next one is test whether the system can achieve this objective. Yeah, the performance, we need to use data volume that we ourselves predict. Okay, say it cannot be more than 1,000 record 1,000 loan application per day. It cannot be for our department. So, okay, we will test our system, say the most 1,000 records. Okay, that is one example predicted. But then if you are trying to predict, try to go for the extreme, try to go for extreme. And then based on the network traffic, especially when this is an online-based system, as well as the number of users. Sometimes the number of users accessing the same system at the same time might fail the system. The system might crash or become slower, perhaps due to the hardware, the capacity, or perhaps there's something in the code that can be rewritten to make everything more faster. Okay, so that is the purpose of the performance testing. Okay, so the importance, yes, we want to know the performance limit. This is very important. If we do not know, then throughout the operation of the system, then you will become something like a doctor that you need to be on call 24 hours a day, okay, waiting for the system to, or hopefully the system will not crash, especially when if the system is a critical system. Okay, performance limit, and also to predict the performance requirement. Okay, the word predict here is in the future. Okay, remember that the useful life of a system is around 4, 5, 6 years. Okay, you need to be able to predict the performance of the system. Will it be able to handle up to like this few years, or after 3 years we need to do some upgrading? Okay, so need to predict. And then the third importance, what is the third importance here, Kelvin? Explore the potential effect. Yes, this is the one that I'm talking about just now. What will be the impact when we test it with very huge data volumes, with very high network traffic, with a very large number of users. Okay, we want to see what happened. Will our system just lag for a few seconds, or will our system throw out those funny error messages? Or perhaps our server, will it eventually overheated? Maybe the system crash and it shut down and you cannot like reboot the system again. So we need to see the potential effects. So it's important, right? This performance testing. But then so far for your programming, I believe you all do this one, lah kan? Unit testing up to the system testing, whether the whole thing, all the functions in your program works or not. Okay, what is the next question? Okay, automated testing tools. Okay, contribution and significance. Yes, definitely it will save time. I agree, because human, we get tired, right? We cannot like to check for large number of users. You cannot hire like thousands of people to log in into the system at the same time, right? So you need software to do that, to simulate, okay, to simulate the number of users, okay, and then to predict the performance as well. Very good. Okay, and then to diagnose. If you ever Google for automated testing tool, one of the feature is the diagnostic feature. It will show you where is the bottleneck, and then some other statistics, perhaps in terms of the speed of processing. This is the software tester, yeah, will feed back the suggestion to the system designer. Here, these two people, they are two different people. The system designer will be the one who developed the system. Okay, they're the one who will develop the system. Of course, they're the one who will do the unit testing, integration testing. But then when it comes to the performance testing, okay, when it comes to the performance testing, then normally a software tester lah. This is a software tester. We do have a software tester job, okay, like the software engineering students, they learn, what do they learn? They learn software testing and quality assurance as one of their core courses. Okay,
They're
it's
not
very
programmer, right?
important.
The software tester is not it's not a programmer, right?
He's a programmer, but in that particular department, say in this scenario, his job is to do testing, and then he will not like touch the program. Whatever findings that he get, he will inform the system designer. That's why ada ini, he will feedback. Okay, he will give feedback. So in a very big company like software testing company, software house company, they have these two different division. The tester, all the software tester and the system designer. This software tester will not like kacau the program. They will inform the findings of their testing, and then up to the designer to solve everything. We do have that software tester. And then they need to know programming lah. Okay. Let's see. Just for your information, our graduates from diploma and also our bachelor degree. Okay. I think both of them they're still there. Or how many? And then some of them they went there for their internship. Okay. Your peso, we have one in KK. And then when I asked our students there, they mentioned that mainly what they do is software testing. Okay, they do their two division software testing. What do they do?
Just testing, no programming.
There's a division where they focus on software testing. Okay, they also develop software. And then since one of their services is quality assurance, they check software testing as very important. Where is cannot see from here. But then macam I saw something. I saw in job street. Okay, job to show you what other career advancement that you can find, say software software tester. Software test engineers.
Sabah kat block.
Sabah ada tu. This multi location. Oh, software engineer. Wow.
Wow, for figure.
Does intern do software testing?
Sorry.
Do interns do software testing? Or they do
We do
or
have
they do
our
want to change.
software engineer diploma student.
What the intern do most of the time?
Interns, it depends. Some interns, they do computer troubleshooting. Some, they develop web app. Some, they do maintenance of existing system, depending on the company lah. So that's why it's important for you to build up your resume and find the company that offers internship. Okay. Oh, Sabah Electricity system analyst. Sabah Electricity for very recent. Okay, all this. Wow, 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 wow. Bachelor. Okay. Yalah. See, 3 years of experience means fresh graduate cannot. Oh, no more. Oh, no more. I say, that is. Your person. I think the position has been fulfilled already. Kota Kinabalu. Okay, best release support. Unit and integration testing. Okay, meet quality standard. Yeah, wow. Wait, OOP. PHP. Okay. All right. So just additional. I think we are.
Always
Yeah,
so
we're
many
done
years.
with that.
Always so many years.
Kelvin, you attended Mr. Bob Jaliu's talk, right?
Yeah.
On software development. He said they ask for everything, tapi there's no such person who is capable to do all that. That's the reality. Okay, next.
They pick the best out of all the applicants.
Yeah, then yeah, you have to be squeezed, like you need to work. All right, but then remember what I shared with you all the other day. If there's any online courses, keep track of it. If there's any talk, you keep track. Your soft skill point, you need to like build up your resume from now lah. Okay. Okay. Next is let's see. Our practical is 3 o'clock. If you're ready with your presentation, we can start now so that you'll have more time for your in-class work. Or I brief you on the next week presentation, and you have 1 hour for your in-class work, like 2:30 until 3:30.
Okay.
Okay, so I will brief first. But then at 3 o'clock, we change meet lah. Okay, let's see. Okay. So later you will show me this. Okay, for next is a system design input. You need to show me your input screen. Only one, only one data input screen. Okay, you don't have a source document, no problem. For your input data screen, make sure you have each item, okay, where appropriate. Okay, where it's appropriate, suggest at least one most relevant or suitable validation check. Okay, and then for those data input that is automated, if there's a barcode or is system generated, like the system date and time, then no need lah. Okay, no need. Here you can use any screen generator and you can just do a print screen. And then in terms of user friendliness feature, you can refer to your notes. Okay, and then again, based on your input screen design here, you show using arrows. Okay, using arrows, which part that you have introduced the user friendliness characteristic. Okay, so you need to show berapa, at least two characteristics. This one you can refer to your notes. And that's all. Let me show you the junior punya work lah. Okay, for this student, okay, this boy is very into programming. So he didn't use a screen generator. Mana dia? Ini. He didn't use any screen generator. Other groups they use like anything that they can use to do a drag and drop, like the for our web design. There's what do you call that? Visual
Basic.
Visual Basic. Oh, you all now are using Visual Basic or like Gison? You can like do a drag and drop. No need to do any coding. No need to do any coding. It is just a print screen. Okay, just a print screen. Okay, just a print screen. But I tell you, this boy, he's very into programming. Okay, he spent his time. In fact, he developed it. Okay, with the validation. The question mentioned just indicate for each the data entry, what is a suitable validation check, and he go and add the codes inside. So just to tell you, this is extra lah, okay? This that they did extra. The data input screen, I believe for user friendliness, they employ this one, ease of data entry, and then I asked them to explain why there's a ease of data entry. And then they say, oh, senang miss, just enter, and then click add product. And then they include a database, all right? And then this one in fact works. And then they just do a screenshot. This is not prints, not a dummy screen. Okay, this boy. I believe you both Calvin and Noel, you all met during the class rep meeting. Is the class rep for DFT2. And another user friendliness characteristic that they choose is meaningful error messages. So they explain and then they give example lah. And then I ask them why is it in red? Because it's error. So this is their design. Okay, and then they also show like this is the validation check. Value must be greater than or equal to 0. Only for this group they don't listen. They are not like following the minimum requirement here. They think that SAD is like an actual software development course, but then in fact no. Okay, just a theory on system analysis and design. And they also introduced another one, help facility. For you all, how many? Two saja, only 2 characteristics. And then they really create a help screen. Okay, a help screen with the arrow, means when click help, then there's explanation on how to enter the data. Okay, add, update, delete. Okay, Oh, wow, they have 4 user friendliness characteristic. Okay. What else do they have? With the explanation. As for the validation check, this one, you will select your data entry. Now, if you notice, there are case studies on inventory control system. So one of the maintenance, file maintenance is the product. Product is their master file. So remember your DFD, there's one process for maintaining the system file. So you assume you click on that and then select which master file that you want to maintain. And then for this case, select product. They want to add new product, then they key in. So this is an example of the file maintenance module. Okay, just to let you know. The validation check, I believe they did a format check for the product ID before save to the database. This one really works. Russell, he really did the coding, but for you guys, no need. But then if you are doing it for your visual programming, assignment, then why not? I welcome you all to do that. Now value check. So this is the example. Okay, limit check. Okay, I ask them what is your maximum and also minimum number. So they show me. And that's all. Okay. So is the what need to be done clear to you all?
Yeah, so we do the in-class work until 3.
3:30. Or before 3:30 also can, because I think your presentation can finish within 30 minutes, kan? 3:30 to 4.
Yeah.
So by 3:30. So since our practical is in another meet, how would we do? Let's move to the practical punya meet, and then I let you all do the work lah. Okay. So let's go to the next meet.
Okay, Miss.
Okay, so for your input, screen, okay, for your input screen, you can select whichever data entry that you want. Like for speed pass, what do you have? What do you have already? Yeah? You have the route, you have the bus, you have the bus operator. What else? Or perhaps you want to design the screen for the booking. Okay, where the sales staff will enter the customer detail and the bus ticket booking detail into the system. I think that one is a process too. So up to you. Okay, so you decide, come up with a roughly one design, and then show me two user friendliness characteristic, and then for in-class work, perhaps you can highlight to me which among the data entry fields requires validation check lah. And then that's it. So anytime you're ready, hopefully by 3:30. But then I think your presentation will not be that long. If you exceed 3:30, as long as you have time to present, I'm okay. Just let me know in the chat box when you're ready. Okay?
Okay.
This,
Yes.
can you show me in classroom?
Okay. Can you present the screen?
Present screen.
So you'll have selected for, is this the screen that will be used by the sales staff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the data field sufficient? Destination, price, or perhaps later you can change to show the 50 cent properly. Number of passengers, is it or it's a drop down list? Is there a maximum number?
Yeah.
Ada maximum number lah. Departure date, departure time,
So
bus.
first,
Mm-hmm.
the sales staff pick the destination from here, and then
Mm-hmm.
it will come up available schedule lah, based on the destination code.
Oh, this is the schedule.
Yeah.
I want to suggest you need to put a caption there lah, to show that that is the bus schedule.
Oh, caption. Oh,
And then continue.
so the first one is the destination code. So it will check. It will make sure that the this destination code only consists of 5 capital letters. So yeah, this will be the format, picture format, 5 letters.
We didn't use picture format, right? Picture format is for database. What did we use? Format check lah. And format check. Destination code. Tapi I saw just now your destination code is you can select from the list, right?
Yeah. So should we remove this one?
Then there's no data entry for that. No need to
Oh,
check for no validation. So you need to change lah. Range check also no need. You know why? Because you're using drop down list.
oh, so that means there's no validation checks.
Cannot be. So perhaps you need to decide on another input screen, because you need to show validation checks and also
No.
the user friendliness
And
characteristic.
just make a number, not scroll down, not drop down. Just make it in normal input.
So you have one already. Any more? Have you checked your
Yes.
ERD? The attributes for the booking. This is for
Oh yeah.
booking, right?
Oh yeah. Booking.
Ah,
Oh, yeah,
any
I
other
forgot to
attributes you
rename this.
haven't added? So the naming of the module need to be clear, and then you need to do grouping for like to separate which one is display only and which one is that will be calculated by the system. So I think you need to do some grouping. You can see some example and then improve the alignment. Whether there's perhaps you can just include the menu name, maybe like help something. You decide lah. Then you need one more validation check.
Can one input have two validation? Can have two check.
For the total passenger.
Yeah.
So what is the other one?
Can be format check also.
Format. I don't think format.
Oh,
Data type.
data
Is it
type. Yeah,
data
data.
type?
Yeah, that one.
Mm. So let me check the requirement. Yeah, for each item of the data entry, suggest and explain at least one or most relevant suitable for each item. But then you only have one data entry field. Then okay lah. Okay, so your user friendliness feature.
So the first one is the meaningful error messages. So if like there's the number of passenger there's empty, so they will come up with a message. Number of passengers is empty.
Not a good error message. If you remember from our chapter, kan, a good error message means you tell the user what is wrong and you tell them how to fix it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so change the error message. Why do you like put the border really red color?
Oh yeah, because actually I want to like highlight one, but when I crop it, ngam the this on the border.
Okay. In fact, no need to show it like with a thick red border lah. If I'm the user merajuk terus oh.
Okay.
Kena marah system. Sudahlah kena marah. Oh, no number of passenger is empty. Exclamation mark. Macam kena teriak saja. No, better use a number lah, right? I forgot to record.
Oh yeah. Forgot
Ah,
to
okay.
post it.
So the next characteristic,
So
pull
the
down list.
next pull down.
So did you show the example of the list, or is it all 5?
Yeah.
Pull down list.
Yeah, we don't use the full name like Lahat Datu, but we just use the code Lahat.
So this one will link to the next, when is it? Next presentation where you need to design the code for the PK. So destination code is a PK. So I believe you already designed one, and then you need to justify that your code design is good, fulfilling the code design do's and don'ts. You can refer to the code design. I think which chapter is it? Under the database design, the how you should design the code. Is this a good design? I think this is a mnemonic code. Is it a mnemonic code under the alphabetic a significant alphabetic code? Okay, any more?
Finish already. No already.
Oh, finish already. Okay, so good enough for your in-class work. I give you 5 marks. For next week presentation, I wish to see more attractive design of the input screen. You can have a look at various example of data entry screen. Okay, and I want to see an improved version. Okay, so are you ready with your presentation?
Right.
Okay, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon.
So today we will be presenting the system design and the functional design and the system design. So the agenda for today is first is the functional structure chart, and second is the functions and features, and third is the diagram 0 DFD. So the functional structure chart is this one. So under bus ticketing system, there are five module, which is validate payment module, and secondly is receive booking module, cancel booking module, maintain system files module, and lastly is generate sales report module. And
Okay, good.
uh,
Proceed.
um, I deliver my presentation to Farah.
Hello, I will be presenting for the functions and features. So, for the functions and features, we will be explaining for the validate payment module and also the receive booking module. So, for the validate payment module, number one, select payment type. So the sales staff must choose a payment type that is requested by the customer, either by using a bank account or credit card. And second will be the receive payment details. After payment type is selected, the customer must provide their payment details to the sales staff as an input. And the third one, send payment details depending on payment type. After the payment detail is provided and entered into the system, it will then send to its corresponding institution, either to a bank or credit card firm, depending on the selected payment type. After the bank or the credit card firm receive the payment details, it will be processed to determine its validation status. And then the fourth one will be receive and display the validation status. After a short while, a bank or credit card firm will send the validation status back into the system and be displayed. This allows the sales staff to know whether the provided payment details is valid or not, so that it can be informed to the customer. This validation status is considered to be an output of this module.
I would suggest it to be just display validation status, because we know to display validation status, definitely you need something. So you can remove the receive in front, display validation status.
Oh, okay.
I'm still thinking about number 3, but then continue with the next one.
Okay. The next one will be the receive booking module. Number one, receive and display. So I remove this one. Display schedule details. This system will receive schedule details from the schedule data store and display available schedule to the sales staff. The sales staff will then inform the available schedules to the customer.
Yeah, just put there, display the, make it clear lah, bus schedule, because your store data name is schedule, only schedule. We need to be very clear with our data flow. As what you all know, when we draw the DFD, the data flow name is schedule details, but when we want to like create the data dictionary for our DFD, we need to clearly mention what is the content of the schedule detail data flow. So it will be much more better if the naming is more clear lah, like a bus schedule, right? So the system will receive bus schedule from the schedule data store, display the bus schedule to the cell staff. Like your input screen just now, there is no like you didn't show that you are actually trying to um, select the search for or select the bus schedule, right? So you need to be very clear lah. Okay, continue.
Okay. So the second one will be the receive booking details. Um, the customer will pick their desired schedule and also tell how many numbers passengers will board the bus. After this information is obtained, the sales staff will enter the following information as booking details into the system. Both information about number of passengers and specific schedule is needed for booking details. The third one will be stored booking details. The completed bus ticket booking details will be stored into the booking data storage store.
I change that. I remove the storage. Just
Uh,
data store.
okay. So the fourth one will be the generate bus ticket. The completed bus ticket booking details will also be printed and given to the customer.
Okay, so you need to be consistent with the naming, like the booking details, and then for function 3 and 4, the name of the flow is different already.
Okay, okay, I
But
will
then I still need to look at your DFD lah.
DFT. Okay, so give my presentation to Kelvin. Uh,
Habis
You highlight the changes, yeah?
highlight the
No.
changes. We didn't highlight the changes.
Yeah.
I mean, when you explain, you show me which part that you change.
Need cannot see the arrow.
Oh,
No,
the
can see.
change I no, I did most of the change.
Oh, yeah.
Then
So
can
the
Noel explain?
forgot already. So firstly, the schedule. There's a new data flow to the process 5, which is the generic sales report. So that's one of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
changes.
Okay, good.
Next is the booking data store is sending its booking details to the process tree to for the what check if there's a match or not.
Oh, let me correct how you explain that. Data store do not send or receive because data store is just what do you call that,
Oh, yeah.
file.
Sorry.
So you
So
can say that process tree will read the booking details
booking.
from the booking data store, and then what happened after that?
So if it will check if there's a match or not from that all the details. So if there's a match, it will then update the booking details back into the booking data store.
The arrow from process tree going to the booking data store, the naming, updated booking details. Do you think the naming shows us that it has already been cancelled?
Yeah. So is that the correct naming?
I think it can be further improved to show that, okay, the process, the transformation is to cancel the booking. Input is the booking details. So what should come out from the cancel booking process? What do you think?
Cancel booking details.
Is that much better? How about the rest?
Validated booking details. No.
We are not validating, we are canceling. We cancel the booking.
Confirm booking details. Only
No, we're
cancel.
not confirming. We want to cancel. If we want to cancel, then how would we tell that our output is, oh, this data flow is it contains the cancellation remark or cancellation status that that particular booking record has been cancelled.
Booking updated.
For me, I think maybe cancel booking details. I'm not sure.
Because can mix the booking details, can it takes all the records to find the match.
Yeah. Because the booking records, we assume that there is one particular attribute, perhaps status kan, begitu kan?
Yeah.
And then I can see that there's a refund output going to the customer. So I'm thinking about the refund. Are you going to store the refund amount in the booking?
No, just the
No.
status only.
So you're assuming that the refund would be the whole ticket price, is it?
80%, like 80% of the amount paid, like, because penalized 20%, right?
Is it in mentioned in any of your previous presentation?
Yeah. So should I show that one?
Let's check.
Okay.
I stopped presenting.
Okay. Once we have confirmed everything every week, then by week 14, you all just need to compile everything into one report. That's it. Easy job. But then your SAD assignment take the longest time, starting from week 2. Updated booking.
This one is already.
Then the customer will be penalized 20% of the total purchase amount and receive the remaining fund. So that will happen in the cancel booking process. So we assume that the system would be able to do the calculation and show the amount of refund.
The refund amount also need to be recorded.
Tunggu ini penalized. Why would they be penalized for cancelling?
Yeah, for cancelling.
Oh, so they can only get 80% of the refund.
Right.
Okay, okay. Continue with the DFT. So meaning we assume that the refund amount will be calculated by the system, provided that the total payment is included in the booking record. Okay, included in the booking record. And then cancel booking, it should have the cancellation detail. So cancellation detail is in fact the cancellation status. So if you all use updated, cancel, or why the name change?
Oh, this one is directly, it's a, you in the draw IO already, not in
Oh
the
yeah,
presentation.
he using the draw IO, so he changed there.
Oh, sudah
Direct.
change. Oh,
I,
oh, okay, okay.
I just listen.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't
much more easier to understand. The process is cancel booking, output is a cancel booking. Cancel booking punya detail. Okay, continue with the next process. The changes.
Process is, oh, next change oh, this one. So the customer provide the number of passengers details to the process 2. Then they receive the bus ticket instead of the ticket. And oh yeah, so they receive booking, retrieve the schedule details from the schedule data store, and then it will show the available schedule to the customer. Yeah, that's the change. The change.
Can you change it, add available bus schedule? Available bus schedule or available schedule? Availability. Bus schedule availability.
Oh,
Is it better? Bus schedule availability.
Bus schedule option can lah.
Option boleh juga availability options dua-dua boleh. Okay, so I noticed that you all use bus schedule detail, the data flow from the data store schedule. So update your function just now, the explanation. Okay. How about process 1? The changes? Any changes?
so far this one, these are payment validation status.
Yeah. So validate payment. What will come out? Payment validation. Okay, so the output should be a representative of the process that is done. That's all right.
Well, yeah, that's all.
Can I see back the functions just now?
The presentation.
Yes. Yeah, the receive booking module. Receive the bus schedule detail. Oh, you need to change that. Bukan receive. The system will obtain or retrieve. I'm looking at the first function to display the bus schedule. The system change the will receive. There's a typo there. R-E-T-R-I-E. R-I-E. Nice, so online class. The bus schedule details on the schedule data store and display available. But then your DFD changed, right? Display available schedule to the sales staff. But then you're sending the option. Okay, do we need to change? Oh, then you only need to change the last sentence. The sales staff will then inform the over here this you use available bus schedule. So if you want to maintain available, then in your DFD, then you make sure it's the same like available bus schedule. Or what did you use in your DFD just now? Option. Bus schedule options. Then change it. Better change it now lah. Or the second sentence, display available. You need to mention the bus schedule lah. Bus schedule also the first function. Second sentence.
Change one.
Oh, the first sentence. There are only two sentences. The first sentence. Schedule
Okay,
meant
schedule.
to bus schedule.
Wait, this is the data.
No. That is the data store. The next line.
Data store and display all available.
Also tell how many. Oh, I can see something here. Can you all see something for your function two? Not only number of passenger, but there's one more coming from the customer. The selected bus schedule.
Oh.
But in your DFD, only number of passenger.
Oh. So I have
They
to
just
edit.
Select
it.
combine.
What combine?
Because there are two things coming from customer.
Oh,
So you want
This
to,
can
if you combine, then you need to think of another name.
if I add in like
Booking details. Bus booking details.
can I miss?
But then what is the output? Oh, the output is completed bus booking detail. Anggap lah. Input is booking detail, and then after it has been processed, output is completed bus booking details. Okay, kan? Do you all agree? Oh yeah. Okay. Should be lah, I guess. Your output is bus booking detail. So input from customer, their bus booking details. So we assume that the details would be the schedule and also number of passenger. Okay, I'll go back to the function just now. Customer will pick the desired bus schedule and also tell how many number of passengers will board the bus. Okay, so that one is one data flow. Then the sales staff will enter the following information as, rename the booking details to bus booking details. Yes. No. The third one. The sales staff will enter the following information as
Complete.
just now it's bus booking detail, right?
Oh yeah.
Going into the system.
Right.
There's another booking detail. Both information about number of passengers and specific schedule is needed. What is the original name for the function 2 just now? Before you change it to retrieve.
Yeah, I think that's the original because there's another one, generate ticket here, but we instead combine it inside into receive booking process.
Okay, so go back to the function. Store booking details. Generate bus ticket, the completed bus ticketing, okay, will also be printed. Oh, no. The bus ticket will be printed, bukan the completed bus ticket booking detail. The completed bus ticket booking detail will be stored in the booking data store, correct? Number 4.
Oh,
So you
so I
generate
delete
ticket, so the
the
bus ticket
bus
will be
ticket.
printed. Only the bus ticket, because
Oh,
your output is bus ticket. And then store booking detail, the completed bus ticket booking details will be stored into the booking data store. Make a data store as 2 words. Okay, now let's together check the first function, the previous one. I think should be okay already. Okay,
this one.
next. Choose a payment type that is receive payment detail is they receive from the customer. Then display validation status is from the send the validation and be displayed process to know whether the provided payment is valid or not. Okay, number 4. Okay, number 3. How to improve this? What is the required action? Is it just sending of the payment detail? Send
You
to
send it.
bank.
So the process will be inside the institution,
Mm,
not
mm,
within
mm.
the system.
But then there's you can imagine that there's a coding also. If a payment type is equal to and then that one it will send the data to somewhere else. Else if the payment type sending. How to explain that?
If like only retrieve from the bank only, and then the process is within the bus ticketing system, cannot.
Can you go back to the function? Obtain payment validation status. Can I see the DFT just now? What do we get? Validation status. Yellow. Obtain payment validation status. And then after that, we display the payment validation status. Yeah, if we mention we obtain the validation status, then for sure we know it's either from a bank or credit card. But how do you explain the validate payment in your previous
Yes,
presentation?
yes. Forgot already. It's kind of actually like similar to this one, cancel booking, find a match. So this one also the banking payment details also have to find a match within the big records.
If they want to use card, they need to do the validate.
Then go back to the function just now. Send payment details. Why I am still not convinced to use the name send payment details?
Payment choice.
Payment choice already in number 1.
If send banking or credit card details like that, cannot.
Send. Oh yeah. Tapi do you have the data flow? Going to the bank, banking detail, credit card detail. Okay, make sure it matches.
Yang two.
Banking detail, credit card, send banking or credit card. Yeah. Okay, puas hati. Okay. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I think I'm satisfied already. Finally, since last week. How about the rest? Is it? Do you all agree?
Agree, because
Uh,
using the banking and credit card.
Yeah, when we want to send the banking or credit card details, I know that there's some kind of processing because it's either banking or credit card. Okay, a very good function name. Okay, I think that's all. Yeah. So how many marks should I give you? Okay, let me open my. Okay, so just now your in-class work is 555 for today's presentation. Your presentation is presentation format. Points are logically developed and demonstrated understanding. Okay, for that one, for today, I see some mistake. Presentation format 4. I give you 4. But then we already fixed it just now. We fix it together. And for the content, okay. Also, I cannot give you full mark this time. What did you all change just now? It's quite minor. Several. Kalau several, then I give you 8. But then we managed to fix it already. Okay. So you have 148. 1, 2, 3, 4 more weeks. Yes. Finally, the longest assignment. Okay, so the time now is already 4:15. Okay, so I believe we can end our class.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll see you next week. Bye.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks.
Miss. Thank you.
Welcome.